Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time we're taking a look at eyewitness media.
Oh, wow.
Specifically, we've got this really cool guide, and it's all about how vulnerable populations can really use social media effectively.
Interesting.
And this is by Marvin Staraminsky-Uhara.
Okay.
And what's interesting about this is he's a risk management consultant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fascinating perspective to bring to this.
Yeah, I think he's got a really unique take.
Yeah.
And so I think this is, with everyone having a smartphone now, social media and smartphones, they've completely revolutionized how we share information,
Oh, absolutely.
especially in emergencies. And so,
You think about
Yes,
how
sir.
information spreads during a natural disaster,
yeah, or even
a protest or
like
something.
a public safety issue or something where every second counts.
Exactly.
And it's interesting because we had that example from Guayaquil,
Oh, right. Yeah.
yeah, in Ecuador,
I remember that one.
where this journalist was using Twitter to help families who were, dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, using it as a resource network.
Exactly.
Wow.
So I think
That's incredible.
this guy's going to give us some insight into how to do that effectively.
Yeah, this is a practical roadmap
Yeah,
for making a difference
exactly.
with your phone.
So how do you think this ties into the bigger picture of, we hear all this talk about mediatized conflict and things like that.
Right. Well, in the past, we used to rely on official sources for,
Government or
yeah, governments, news outlets, the big guys,
Yeah.
to tell us what was going on.
Right, it was very top down.
Exactly. It was top down. There was only one narrative.
Right.
But now, with everybody having a smartphone,
Yeah, citizen journalism.
it's this bottom-up flow of information.
Right, and sometimes those
They
narratives,
clash,
Yeah.
they butt heads, and that's where it gets really interesting.
yeah, where those two perspectives collide.
Exactly. Think about the Abu Ghraib prison scandal.
Oh, yeah.
It was citizen footage.
Raw and unfiltered.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It exposed the truth.
It challenged the official
Weird.
narrative.
It challenged the official narrative, and that's the power of eyewitness media.
Yeah, it can really change things.
It can be a game changer.
For sure.
And I think that's where this guide comes in.
Yeah.
Because Staraminsky-Ohara, he actually lays out this really cool visual guide in Figure 1 of his paper.
Oh, wow.
It's called the Social Media Video Guide.
Okay.
And it's all about helping people harness that power of eyewitness media effectively.
So it's taking this raw footage, this citizen journalism, and saying, okay, how do we make this have the most impact?
Exactly. Yeah. How do we give it structure? How do we give it meaning?
Yeah.
How do we make sure it gets seen?
So he's not just saying hey, go out there and film stuff.
Yeah.
He's saying here's how you do it in a way that's going to actually make a difference.
Exactly. And he breaks it down into 3 key areas.
Mm-hmm.
Subject, structure, and platform.
Oh,
And each one kind of builds on the other.
so they all work together?
Yeah, they all work together to make sure your message gets across.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, it's I like that there's a framework. It's a framework, yeah.
So let's start with subject.
Okay.
Because I think that's
That's the heart of it.
yeah, that's the heart of your video.
The content, the message.
Yeah, and he breaks that down even further, right?
He does. He breaks it down into the 3 parts.
Okay.
Authorship attribution,
Okay.
object description, and emotional valence.
Wow. Okay.
3 big words, but they make sense when you think about it.
Okay.
So let's say you're trying to tell people about a burst water main that's flooding your street.
Okay, very specific.
Very specific.
Okay.
The first thing people need to know is who you are and where you are.
So they can trust you.
Exactly. That's the authorship attribution.
Okay.
It's about building credibility right from the start.
So it's hey, I'm host speaker and I live on this street and this is happening.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And then you've got the object description,
Okay.
which is kind of like painting a picture with words.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You need to clearly and concisely explain what's happening and back it up with visuals.
Okay, so it's not just me saying, hey, there's a flood. It's hey, there's a flood and the water's this high and it's coming up to my doorstep.
Exactly. Show them the rushing water. Show them the damage.
So it's like a
news report.
Yeah.
But you're the reporter.
right, on the ground.
You're on the ground.
Yeah, I got it.
And you know what really brings it home?
What?
Emotional valence.
Okay.
This is where you show the human impact of the situation.
Oh, okay.
It's not just a flooded street. It's your neighbor's car getting swept away.
Oh, wow.
The fear in people's eyes.
Okay, so you're really connecting with the viewer.
Exactly. It makes people care.
Yeah.
It makes them want to take action.
Okay.
You're not just presenting facts, you're telling a story.
Right. And stories are powerful.
Stories are powerful.
Yeah.
And that's the brilliance of this guide.
What's that?
It recognizes that emotion is a powerful tool for communication. It connects us. It compels us.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's not just dry information. It's about sharing a human experience.
Right. It's that human element that really draws you in.
Exactly.
Into care.
It's like, that raw emotion, that authenticity.
Yeah.
It just makes it so much more powerful.
Yeah, it's really, you can't fake that.
You can't fake it. People can spot a fake a mile away.
Exactly. And sometimes like you see those like super polished, videos or whatever, and it's like, it doesn't feel real.
That doesn't feel genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that brings us to the next section of the guide's brain.
Okay.
Structure.
Structure, okay.
This is all about making sure your video is, concise, urgent, and packed with information.
Okay, so get to the point.
Get to the point.
Yeah.
Think of it like, crafting a trailer.
Oh, okay.
A really compelling trailer for a documentary.
Okay.
You want to grab attention.
Yeah.
Highlight the most important points quickly.
So no rambling on for like 10 minutes about the history of the water main.
Exactly.
Oh.
You got to get to the heart of the matter.
Right.
And remember, visuals are your best friend.
Okay.
Show that, don't just tell.
I like that.
What are the key details viewers need to see to understand the urgency?
Right, because it's like we consume information so differently now.
Absolutely.
It's all about like short, snappy content,
Short attention spans.
Yeah, people don't have a lot of time.
And that's why this guide is so relevant.
Right.
It's tapping into how we communicate today, meeting people where they are.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the content.
Right.
We've got the emotion.
Yeah.
We've got the structure. But where do we share this masterpiece?
That's where platform comes in.
Platform.
The final piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
And this is where Starra Minsky-O'Hara gets specific.
Okay.
He recommends Twitter.
Okay.
It's not just a random choice. Twitter has this incredible ability to connect with a huge audience.
Okay, so it's not just like my friends and followers seeing this.
Not at all.
Okay.
Think of it like this Twitter is like a global town square.
Okay.
Where news breaks, conversations happen, people mobilize.
So it's like you're getting your message out to the people who can actually like make a change.
Exactly.
Got it.
Getting it in front of the right eyes.
And it's not just like posting and hoping for the best.
Right. No. The guide emphasizes direct engagement.
Okay.
Responding to questions, providing updates.
So you're really interacting.
You're interacting.
Yeah.
That back and forth dialogue builds trust.
Yeah.
Keeps the issue in the spotlight.
So you're almost like becoming the voice of like...
You become the voice.
Your community or your street or your whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what's so empowering about this guide.
Okay.
It gives you the tools,
Yeah.
not only to share your story,
Right.
but to actually become like a catalyst for change.
Right. So it's not just about awareness. It's about actually like taking that next step.
Taking action.
Yeah.
It's turning those likes and retweets into real world action.
Okay. So it's going from online to offline.
Exactly.
Bridging that gap.
Yeah. This all sounds really effective.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, do you think this guide like only applies to those like, emergency situations? Or could we use this like same framework to raise awareness about like, I don't know, like a local park that's being neglected?
Oh, yeah.
Or like a community center that's facing closure?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And I think it speaks to the adaptability of this guide.
Okay.
It's designed with that sense of urgency in mind.
Right.
But those core principles, they're universally applicable.
Okay.
Clear communication,
Yeah.
authenticity, strategic use of platform.
Yeah.
Those are essential no matter what the situation is.
So it's like a toolbox.
It's a toolbox.
Yeah. You've got the tools, you can use them for different projects.
Yeah. You just use them in slightly different ways.
Exactly. And that's where critical thinking comes in.
Okay.
You got to assess the situation,
Yeah.
your goals, your target audience.
Right.
So, if you're trying to save a community garden,
Yeah.
maybe Instagram is a better platform than Twitter.
Right. So you're tailoring it to your specific
needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just like a one-size-fits-all.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
It's not about rigidly following a formula.
Yeah.
It's about understanding those underlying principles,
Yeah.
applying them creatively.
Right.
And remember, social media, it's just one piece of the puzzle.
Right.
It's a powerful tool for raising awareness, building momentum.
Yeah.
But it's often most effective when it's combined with offline action.
Oh, okay.
Think community organizing, direct advocacy.
Okay.
Good old-fashioned grassroots efforts.
So it's like a 1-2 punch.
Exactly.
Use the social media to get people like fired up.
Get them talking, get them riled up.
Yeah.
Then you channel that energy into real-world action.
That makes sense.
And that's where this guide can be truly transformative.
Yeah.
It's not just about sharing information. It's about empowering people to become agents of change in their own communities.
I like that. Yeah, it really is amazing to think, like, we started with this idea of creating a video.
Right.
But it can actually lead to all of these,
all these actions.
Real-world tangible changes.
It's like, you give people a framework.
Yeah.
And they can take those principles and apply them to all sorts of different situations.
It's like learning language almost.
Yeah.
Like once you understand
the grammar,
the vocabulary,
you can say whatever you want.
Exactly. You can express yourself in all these different ways.
And it's like, social media changes all the time.
Oh, constantly evolving.
Yeah. So it's good to have
new platforms.
Yeah. New ways to connect.
Those solid principles.
Absolutely.
As we've been talking, I keep thinking back to that journalist in Guayaquil.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they weren't using this guide directly, their actions really embodied the spirit of it.
Totally.
Using Twitter to connect families, provide updates, mobilize support.
It's a perfect example of how this framework can be applied in the real world.
Exactly. And imagine if more people had access to this guide.
Especially vulnerable communities.
Yeah.
The potential impact is huge.
It's like everyone would have this ability
to share their stories, to connect with others, to demand change.
It's a
It's a powerful vision.
Yeah, and it's even though it's about technology, it's really about something much deeper.
Oh, absolutely. About human connection, empathy, the right to be heard.
Right.
It's about recognizing that everyone has a story, and those stories can change the world.
It's funny, when we first started talking about this guide, I was thinking okay, here's the steps. Here's the structure, here's the platform.
The practical stuff.
Yeah, but now I'm
you see the bigger picture.
Yeah, it's we've peeled back the layers.
We've gotten to the heart of it.
Yeah.
The why behind the what.
Exactly.
That's what makes it so powerful.
This has been a really eye-opening deep dive.
It has.
It's showing us how this simple guide about making videos can actually be a blueprint for something so much bigger.
So much bigger.
It's about empowerment and connection and
using your voice.
Yeah, using your voice to make a difference.
It's been fantastic exploring these ideas with you.
Yeah, me too.
And I hope our listeners are feeling inspired
to
take action, tell their stories, embrace the power of their own voices.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on this incredible journey.
Thanks for listening.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep sharing your unique perspective with the world.